Hey, how's it going, friend? So if you're interested in learning more about how a successful real estate investor and online business person, this guy, manages his time, then you found the right video. Hey, Daniel, cue in the intro, please. Hey, how's it going, friend? Juan Pablo here. First and foremost, thank you so much for visiting this video and checking out our channel. Now on this channel, we typically like to focus on the three pillars to financial freedom, which are personal finance. We talk about time management. We talk about budgeting. We talk about credit. We talk about a lot of things about personal development and personal finance. We also like to discuss funding, having a repeatable source of investment capital. And last and certainly not least, real estate investing, where we have an emphasis on multi-units and multi-family properties. All right, for the past few videos, you might see me talk a lot about personal development, personal finance, because it's a new year, just depending on the time you're watching the video, but it's a new year, and I just want to make sure that people are getting off to the right start, in which they're actually having a huge focus on their personal finances, because you cannot have business development without personal development or without personal finance being up to par. All right, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to make sure I share my screen. So I'm going to share with you about how to plan your day, especially if you're a 9-to-5er, you have all these other activities. So I want to share with you how to manage your time. And speaking of sharing, if you're new to this channel, please like, share, subscribe, so that way Google, the algorithm, can do its thing to give you additional videos to help you along your journey to financial freedom. So without further ado, let's dive into it. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go into the screen share. All right, here we go. So this is an operational plan. I call it OP for short. And this is a Google Sheet. Now you can obviously, recreate this yourself. We typically provide this to people in our community. Now, what we do here is, let me change the year here. What we do here typically, when managing your time, you want to batch certain activities. I get it. You may have the 9-to-5, and the amount of time you actually spend doing real estate related activities, personal finance related activities, funding related activities may be scarce. So it's important that you use your spare time wisely to make yourself wealthy. And by using this by using this OP, I got money on my mind. This is how you would go about doing it. All right, so as I just shared, batching activities. So you might be thinking, okay, it's a colorful calendar, Juan. What's the point of this? Well, let me break it down. So what you want to do is you want to highlight certain days of the week to do certain activities, batching them. Meaning you don't want to be switching gears, such as, let's say Monday evening at 6 p.m., you're analyzing deals, and then at 7 p.m., you're calling agents, and 8 p.m., you're performing due diligence, and then 9 p.m., your mind just keeps switching gears. And it's hard for you to get into deep work. That's actually, if you check the link below, I actually have a book recommendation. It's called Deep Work. It's a really good book, but it shares how to get in the zone, because that's how people become uber successful and super productive. They get into the zone where their work is concerned. And the way you get into the zone is by deeply concentrating on one singular task and not switching. So that's the downside of having instant notifications on your cell phone, right? Or your iPad, whatever your device is. The constant pinging, because when you're focused and you're working on something, and then your phone goes off, bzz, bzz, ping, ping, you got the Apple Watch that's going off. Only thing that's doing it's breaking your focus, and it's not allowing you to get into deep work. In fact, you're actually doing shallow work. That's the first thing. That's just a nugget I want to throw in there. All right. So you want to make sure you focus on one particular thing. So if you have your 9-to-5, you commute back home. Let's say you worked out, had dinner, whatever, kiss the baby, kiss the wife. And then when it's time for you to get into your zone, make sure that you're undisturbed. No distractions. Don't have your Gmail on your account. Don't have your Gmail on your web browser. Turn your phone off. Be focused. Now, with that being stated, let me explain the color system. Okay. So what I typically like to do is I like to batch certain days. So let's say I break it down to certain days, right? The first day I might want to break down finding the money. Okay. So let's say the finding the money day, I might want to have that on Tuesday. So you can just put here as a note, I'll be more descriptive, Tuesday, and that could be finding the money. And then you can itemize what finding the money means. It can mean apply for a mortgage, business credit, etc. And by the way, if you're interested in learning more about business credit to see how you can actually use that to buy multi-units, just check the link below in the description to learn more. All right, so if you say that will be Tuesday, so you might want to say, okay, well, for this activity, I'm going to highlight this, the teal color. So then on Tuesdays, let's say you do this every Tuesday, you can move forward with highlighting it teal. See? Well, teal might be a bad color because it's kind of hard to read, but you catch my drift. Let's say purple. Okay, so that'll be better. And you can put this into purple too. Oops. You can put this into purple as well. All right. So that way you can easily see, or you can just color it in purple if that helps. You can just change the lettering to white if you want to see it. All right, so you see on Tuesdays, I do this activity, find the money. And you might want to say, okay, well, as I'm trying to find the money, I realize, oh, shucks, I need credit repair. After applying for a mortgage, let's say there's a collection tool in my credit report, I need to start doing that. So we see here, we already itemized that out where we can put, let's say on Mondays, or you can, yeah, on Mondays or whatever, dispute negative items, round 1. For Experian, Equifax, and Trainging. That's in pink. So you can have that there. And you can also put it for Wednesday. Let's say you had to send out the letters on Wednesday. So Monday, you drafted the letters, you took a look at your credit report and so forth. And by the way, we actually have a video recommendation for you if you want to learn more about credit and how to use it towards real estate and how it plays a major role in fixing and all that good stuff. Just check the link below in the description to learn more. But let's say Monday, you drafted your letters, you took a look at the activity on your credit monitoring service, and you typed them up. But Wednesday, you actually had to mail them out. Let's say you had to go to the post office for some reason, you mail them out. So then you can highlight both those days for that activity. Okay, or you can say, Monday through Wednesday, I'm gonna focus on my removing activities. That could be activities that relate to removing negative items off your credit report or removing unnecessary tasks out of your calendar. Because you might realize that, well, the reason you don't have the time to invest in real estate may be because you have so many activities that don't necessarily line up with your goals. It could be watching football. It could be hanging out. It could be watching TV. It could be watching your favorite show. It could be reading, who knows, fiction books. Of course, you want to relax. You want to enjoy your spare time. However, if your desire is to become financially free, then that's a sacrifice you have to make. Because there's a quote that goes, if you don't sacrifice for the goal, then the goal becomes sacrifice. Okay, so you got to make sure you sacrifice for the things that you want in life. And when you do that, then you'll see that you freed up some time to do these activities. So basically what you're doing here, guys, is you're jotting out the days of the week or the days of the month. You see it here. And you want to be able to color code certain days to do certain activities. And it's up to you of how you want to do it. You can say every Tuesday, I'm going to do find the money. Every Wednesday, I'm going to analyze deals. Every Friday, I'm going to drive for dollars. Every Saturday, I'm a network to raise profit money. And if you happen to have these days color coded and you actually execute on whatever this calendar tells you to do in a short matter of time, you will get closer towards your financial goals. And so that's what I did. And the way I structured my time was as follows. I made sure I spent Monday through Thursday of the week working on real estate related activities. I say a minimum of about 2 hours a day. So I used to live in New York City, and I would have an hour, 20-minute commute, and I would work 9 hours during that day. So the spare time I had during the week was limited. So, but however, I still prioritized my goals So I carved out 2 hours a day to do certain activities, things that related to credit, things that related to funding, things that related to real estate, and things that related to personal development. Okay, because you can't have business development unless you have personal development. And so I will make sure that I do certain activities on Thursday. So I might say, I want to start my week off right. I'm gonna do personal development related activities. That can be an audiobook, that could be reading a physical book, that could be watching a sermon, just something that helps me where my personal development, self-help, and spirituality is concerned. And then Tuesday, I might say, okay, let me do something that relates to finding the money or improving my credit. Wednesday could be if I have a deal on a contract, that's when I'm doing due diligence. And Thursday can be just another activity. Okay, so you just want to make sure that you break it down. So I'll spend 2 hours a day, Monday through Thursday, same time slot. So if I typically got home at 6 and it took me maybe 30 minutes to an hour to unwind, from 7 to 9, I will focus on those activities without fail. Of course, sometimes you might have exceptions. There might be a holiday, don't get me wrong, or you have an unexpected guest come to your house. But that happens nowadays, right? Everyone texts and calls before they come. It's not like the old days when people just knock on your door to see if you're there, but you catch my drift, right? There will be some times in which you can't do it, but you want to make sure you make up for it on another day of the week. And fortunate enough for me, I did work for the government, and on Fridays, every other Friday, we would have off. Okay. So if I had to work this Friday, let's say the 8th, for instance, whatever this date on this calendar is. And by the way, you can update the dates, by the way. So if I had to work on the 8th, then on the 9th, I would spend about 4 hours doing other real estate related activities. It could be capital raising activities, networking, applying for funding, things of that nature. And then let's say I had this Friday off, the 15th, then on that Friday, instead of working that 4 hours on that Saturday, I will work on that Friday. Because I was on a system called AWS, alternative work schedule. So every other Friday we had off because I will work 9-hour shifts Monday through Thursday. That's just how it worked out. So you might not have that flexibility in your schedule. That's perfectly fine. You can stick to working Monday through Thursday, 2 hours a day, Saturday or Sunday, whatever day you choose, for about 4 hours. I understand you might have a family. You might have other commitments. You may wear multiple hats. You might have other things you got going on in your life. And you might say, hey, I can't do weekends. I can't do, hey, remember, if you don't sacrifice for the goal, then the goal becomes the sacrifice. So you got to make sure you make that sacrifice. And if you can't do the weekends, you're not able to make that sacrifice under any condition, okay, then double up on the weekend, but you got to be able to invest the time. And so once you have this mapped out for the month, and you want to do this on the 1st of every month, by the way, 1st of every month, just map it out. So when you have this done for the month, you can always just copy it, duplicate it, or you can recreate this yourself, or just find a calendar on Google Sheets or Excel spreadsheet if you would like to. Just make sure that when you duplicate it, you can have the same color coded system so it's easy for the next month. But if the next month has to change, because let's say you found the money and you found the deal, then you might say, okay, well, I want to change my days up a couple next week or next month to focus on performing due diligence. You know, maybe Monday through Tuesday, I'm gonna work on the financial aspect. Thursday and Friday, I'm gonna work on the physical aspect and do negotiations. Okay, so this helps you batch your activities in your calendar. So then once you have this ironed out, then you want to go to your calendar, let's say Google Calendar, and then you want to be able to highlight certain days, or not necessarily highlight certain days, but enter in key days that need to go in that calendar. Okay, that's how you want to do it. Now, you might have days in which you're on vacation. If that's the case, let's say you're on vacation these days right here. So you might want to say last week of month. So again, this is flexible. You can do it however you want. And you can just say vacation. Let me just do it this way. Vacation last week of month, of the month, whatever. All right. And then you can just fill in the letters. Let's say it will be green, vacation. And let's say you'll be on vacation these days and this day. It's optional, guys. So you see me on some examples or scenarios. I highlight the number, the font, and others, I just highlighted the cell. Either one is fine, whatever floats your boat. But you just want to make sure you have a solid system to map out your activities, especially real estate related activities for the month. If you want to add additional activities, personal, like I just showed you, vacation, then by all means you can. But specifically for real estate, you definitely want to use this. And not just for real estate, but funding, credit, personal finance, personal development, things like that. And then key dates, add it to your calendar. All right. So hopefully that was beneficial to you guys. Now, if you're interested in learning more about real estate investing and how you can acquire multi-unit properties out of state using OPM, other people's money, then I have a video resource for you below. Just check the link below in the description to learn more. As always, guys, this is to your success. Continue to earn passively, live passionately. Peace.